Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an amazing life. I'm going to supply the tools for you to manifest anything. We're going to do 5 steps to transformation today. And what is that? Can I really transform my life? Like right now? Yes. Yes, there's no such thing as time. Everything begins with a thought. Thoughts are things. It doesn't even begin with a thought, it ends with a thought. All day long are your thoughts. We can transform this. Now, the biggest thing that I hear, biggest complaint, asking me for help is, okay, I know all this stuff, but how do I change it? You're wired, you're programmed, and you have some habits and patterns. So yes, they must be changed. How do we do that? I'm going to show you a few things that you can do, and then I'm going to give you some ways for us to take this into the next level so it becomes a way of life. So number 1, you must know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you have the ability to change anything, that you are manifesting your reality, that you are in control, that quantum physics is real, and that your thought does change things out in the material world, starting in here, going out here, and the more that you place that thought in, the more things change. But what happens is we don't believe we have the power. So even if we switch over to positive thoughts, we don't believe we're really doing anything. And we don't believe that we are that power. We are disconnected from that which we are. We believe we are. We separate ourselves from that power. You are the power. The first thing is to know that you really do affect your reality, that you really are manifesting your world, and that you really did choose this path, and that everything that happened along the way you participated in, and that you can change anything. You must know that you have no limits. Now, when I say no limits, sometimes it's really just too big for people to grasp. No limits. Yikes! Yes, but within your role. So let's just say within your role here as Bob or Jane or Mary or whoever, you are unlimited within that frame of character that you chose to affect anything. So know that you are one energy creating at all times. You can change anything. You are that power that is happening. All right, so if you don't believe that you have this power to change and that there's some third or second party out there that's making decisions or deciding if you're worthy or not, that is a total block, and you're creating it. There's a third party that's deciding I'm not good enough, or why am I not getting this? You're not talking to somebody else, you're talking to you. Ask yourself, why am I not getting this? There's something here that believes that I'm not doing it. You are an unlimited light being in a body creating everything. If you do not grasp this, that's okay, because we're going to take this down, and the more we go over this and the more habits you put in place, you will eventually see the results. So number 2, what is it you really desire? I've had people write, I don't know what I want. I'm like, okay, then you don't have to pick anything. Just live your life, and if something shows up, you'll say, oh, I want that, or I desire that. But if you are in the middle of a stadium at a Rolling Stones concert with thousands of people, with them playing and everybody screaming, and you're yelling, the universe will never hear you. Now, nobody is going to hear what you're saying, right? And that is how we function. We've got all this garbage in our head. And the thing that we truly desire is just one little blip of all these crazy thoughts going through your head. Fears and all this stuff. So there is no clear goal. There's no clear request. Asking it is given. Well, I really love give and receive. You're always giving. You're always putting something out in the universe, and you're receiving it. There's no delay in that. What I'm putting out is my world. I receive it immediately. If I'm stingy with other people, if I'm hoarding, if I'm feeling lack, you're receiving that. All right? So what is happening right now for you that you want to change, or it's not happening for you that you want to change? What is that goal? Now, people in my classes, I have one big thing is going to be coming out very soon. That's when we pick something that we're going to manifest. And the whole course is just manifesting. Breakthrough fear is you switching all this stuff and then manifesting. We actually do that in the class. One big thing is we focus on this. You should know all that stuff. You're supposed to take that first course because we want to rewire this negative thoughts. It's like it has a mind of its own. It doesn't. It's you. It's just what you've been programmed and you're believing. Beliefs create thoughts, which create the feelings. If you have a negative feeling, then you know you got to go back to what you're believing. And if you believe you're unlimited, there you go. All right, so we must have a clear picture of what we desire, but so many people, well, they'll pick the crazy. I want $10 million, and I'm thinking, if you can't pay your bills right now, let's start with something that you believe could actually happen. You say, oh no, I know I can win the lottery. Well, you can, but chances are pretty good you're not in that space. So let's take baby steps and learn how to manifest with something simple that seems reasonable for you that you can believe you can get. All right, truly believe, not just desire. We desire a lot of things, but we don't really believe we can get them. So what is that clear-cut goal? Because when I get a goal in my head, I not only see it and say it, I feel it all day long. I'm not purposely going, oh, I want this, I want that. I just know it's there, and I just sort of know it's happening. And I just know that it's going to show up. So I know I have a goal and it's clear because it's always there. It's always there. My movie deal, I saw my name on a television screen and the title of my book. And darned if they didn't keep the title of my book. Most of the time they changed the titles. They didn't change mine. And there was my name, big as life on that screen. I saw it so clearly. No matter what anybody told me, didn't matter. It's okay. It's going to happen. So you get shook up a lot of times, right? We're going to talk about that. So number 2 is, what's your goal? What do you want? You must be able to envision it, know it, see it. It's clear. This is what I'm going after. This is what's already existing in the quantum field. Fact. You know me. I love science. And we only know this much. The quantum field means everything's connected. Everything. Galaxies. There's no one thought that doesn't affect everything. I want you to know that. One thought affects everything. The entire cosmos and every universe. Because when you're one thing and you're putting stuff into the one thing, it must be affected. Even if it's this big, it still affects the quantum field. What does that do? We're entangled. It sends out messages. So let's pick a clear goal because we don't want to be screaming at the Rolling Stones concert trying to get heard. So we have to shut all that down and be clear. What is it you desire? So you can write this down. I do. I have a nice, beautiful journal and I write it down. And I say in the front of the journal, I am. I have. This is what I'm switching into. I'm switching into the reality where that exists. Okay, so the third thing is, how's this going to transpire? Now I'm going into my business training mind right here. Because I see so many people out there, they're in this, woo-woo space that, they're not controlling their lives, they're not believing it. They're not clear, and then they sit there and think they're going to meditate and bring things in. Well, if you're not on that level, that frequency where you can just meditate and manifest with a thought, which you totally can do, but if you're not on that level, then you know that something else must transpire, and that means you must have a plan. Now, you may not know what the plan is, but you have to know that things are going to show up. You have to know that if I'm going to get after the new job, what do I need to do today? What's that plan for me to change and facilitate and open up and move forward motion, right? Is expansion. So third thing, you want to expand and you must physically, and which includes your thoughts, facilitate it. What is the plan. How am I going to execute this? So I've had people in my internet training. You guys see this all the time. I actually mentor them personally. So if you join, you'll get access to me. And I sit down and I say, hey, listen, things aren't working for you. You've got all the training. You've got everything. It works. What's going on? I want you to send over your plan. They send over their goals. I said, so there's no plan to execute these goals. So if you're not going into the planning stage, you're not allowing your, let's just say, creative sources to come in. You think you're separate from it and it's just going to show up. But if you open yourself up, does this make more sense now? Open up your, your entangled energy. You open it up, you're saying, okay, yes, we are entangled, and I'm not expecting you over here to do it because you are not separate from me. So I must start to go in the direction, right? 10,000 tries for Edison to get the light bulb right. He didn't sit and go, oh, okay, make it show up. Somebody's going to knock on the door. What a load of crap. But we believe this stuff. Yeah, somebody's going to knock on the door. After you made a few phone calls, you were out, networking at an event. You asked your friends for some guidance or advice, and somebody calls you and says, hey, I heard that you're looking for a job, or whatever it is. So you start that more forward motion. You have the plan. And so what's really going to help you to feel good is when you have the goal, you start to write down what are the top 10 things. Start with 3. What are the top 10 things I can do today to take action toward that goal? And that's your planning. And I do that every single day. Every single day I have a plan and things that I must do in order to have that forward motion. All right? So that's the third thing. What's the fourth? Execution, action, constant action, constant action. So I can plan all this stuff, and I must execute. And there's no such thing as failure. Successful people don't even think that way. They're really tough on themselves. They get very disappointed when things don't happen the way they want. So what do? They're motivated to change even more. So they have more things they try. Say, take action. They say, okay, this plan must change. That didn't work. So let's write out more actions that I can take. And then they execute it. They take the action. You know me, I'm a big action person. Why? That's living life. Right? You can't live life watching some crap on TV, getting online, having arguments with each other about false news. Just take action. This is your life and you get to create it because guess what? Number one, you're limitless. Right? You're limitless. And you know what you desire. You're very clear about it. And you've got a plan, but you're going to look. This is when the universe steps in. When you have a plan and you ask for that guidance, it starts to give you ideas. I get downloads, like crazy downloads, like I'll be online and I'll there's something I would like to improve on. Then all of a sudden I get an idea and I go up and sure enough, a new resource. Oh, this is great. This is what I needed. That's the universe working with you. That's not coincidence, right? And then I take the action. And then I say, okay, I'm going to keep taking action and keep changing that plan, keep taking action until I get that combination perfect and boom, my desire shows up. Because click, 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 right? You saw my video where I said everything's just finding that combination. All the tumblers fall and my goal is created. And I don't question it because I know I'm limitless and I know that I can do that. What's the last thing? You never quit. People quit. 90-some% of people quit. It's ridiculous. They go into jobs. I don't like the jobs. And they'll stay there for 30 years. Yet they won't put the effort in and change their lives. This is why I give you all kinds of courses, webinars. Go to landriaonkka.com, landriaonkka.net. I have work tools for you to learn new skills, and people just want things handed to them, yet they will go and live miserable lives doing things that they don't love. But they don't want to make the effort and take the action and do all the things to get to that different place. You must change that whole combination. So if you have a goal and you are not changing and doing different things, and you remain in that same habits or whatever you're doing, and you're not taking the actions, you're not planning to plans of things that you're not doing now, you will remain in the same quantum field. Never quit. This is why you must desire that goal. I know I'm limitless. This goal, I really desire this goal. I feel passionate about it. That's critical. All right? Here's some things that I can do. Right? I'm going to execute them. I'm going to execute them. I'm going to take the action. Boom. Didn't work. You don't throw in the towel. You go back. Maybe you adjust the goal even. In one big thing, I take you through a series of things where we make sure that that goal is exactly what you desire and you feel really passionate about. So at the end, execute, execute, execute. Use the disappointments, because we will get disappointed, right? Because we all want things to happen the way we want, when we want it to. Doesn't happen, but don't question it. Okay, that's not it. That's not my job. That's not my relationship. That's not my house. Right? Who needs to own a freaking house? Mortgage debt is like crazy. And everybody going to college. The education systems are putting people in debt. They can't even pay off their loans. This is a effed up system. So put all that aside, what you're supposed to be doing, what people tell you to do. Everybody I know out in that world is functioning in a distorted society, and they're not happy. And we've all been in it, and we're all breaking out of it. So you have to be a trailblazer. And the fifth thing, you are never going to stop until you reach that goal. So the other thing too is, and I want to share this because in my internet marketing, why we are so successful is we understand all of these things, and we are with like-minded people. It's a community of people. So when you're trying to achieve these goals of yours, if you're around people or you're sharing your ideas with people who are in a negative state of mind or dense, don't do that. That's negative energy, and they are in the matrix. You can't expect them to be happy for you if they're still thinking that life is supposed to function this way, and that you can't possibly do that. They don't have step number one. They don't believe that we are controlling everything and that we are limitless. So why would you share your goals with anybody, right, that's not thinking that way? So do surround yourself with like-minded people and go after your goals. I hope this was really helpful because it's very simple, but it's how I live my life every single day. Every single day. And it keeps me motivated because when something doesn't work, I go back and I choose new goals, and it's exciting because I know I'm getting closer to that goal showing up. And then what happens along the way, and this is the last thing I want to share with you, is no matter what happens along the way, you are looking at all of these points. I'm unlimited, and here is my goal, and you envision it, and here's my plan, and the plan will actually motivate you. So you're taking action, and you're not focused on, oh, I can't do this, and I don't deserve it, and all the crap that you tell yourself, You're focused on the plan to execute, and you're focused on the action. So you fill up that space that normally the crowd would be screaming at the Rolling Stones concert. You fill up that space with nothing but the thoughts of, how am I going to achieve this? And it shows up because you are you are the inspiration, you are the ideas, you are all of these things. Know it, believe it. So I have webinars coming up that they're recorded and they're live. We're going to go over this in 2020. I'm going to go over all this stuff. We're going to get ready for an amazing year because it's going to really transform, right? It's the year of expansion. It's going to start some crazy stuff. So you don't want to be left behind hanging on to the old world and the old way thing that's, I'm miserable, but I'm going to stay here. I want to come out there. It's time to step out. And if you do, you'll be amazed. And it's not that scary. So go take one of my courses, take one of my webinars, go learn internet marketing. Start taking the action to make the change. Expand. I'm expanding. I'm changing. I'm not the same person sitting there believing that I'm limited and not going after my dreams. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Let's have a sip of coffee. Free workshop if you want to sign up for it. That's the business side of things. Let's start taking some action. Namaste.